got an active shooter at the Young building.
Shots fired at Kentucky State University. At least one person is dead. A suspect is in custody. We'll have the late-breaking developments.
Exactly 1 year after the arrest of Luigi Mangione, newly released body camera footage shows how the bus went down at a Pennsylvania McDonald's.
What's your name? Mark.
Social media goes dark for all kids under 16 in Australia. Could a ban like this happen here?
It's time for some common sense regulation.
I think that's Ricky Lake.
And former talk show host Ricky Lake recovers a box of priceless family photos found by a stranger.
I'm going to get something back that I thought was lost forever.
From CBS News headquarters in New York, this is the CBS Evening News.
Good evening, I'm John Dickerson.
I'm Maurice Dubois.
We begin with yet another fatal shooting in America. It happened today on the campus of Kentucky State University in the city of Frankfort.
At least one student is dead, another is wounded. A suspect, who officials say was not a student, is in custody. This happened in the middle of final exams for the fall semester. Skylar Henry leads us off tonight with the late developments.
Frantic calls came this afternoon about an active shooter on the campus of Kentucky State University.
Situation at KSU. They got an active shooter at the Young building. I think they've got him detained. Yeah, I think it's the new housing unit that's on the other side of East Main.
The city of Frankfort has confirmed that one person is dead. A second victim was transported to the hospital and is in critical condition. The state's governor wrote that a suspect has been arrested. Eyewitnesses on campus describe multiple gunshots.
How many gunshots do you think you heard?
Like 3, 4. Once it happened, you in shock, because we just thinking oh, we got to get out the way. We not trying to get harmed or anything.
The campus was put on lockdown. Kentucky State University is a public, historically black university with about 2,200 students.
A university spokesperson confirmed that today was day 2 of final exams, the last week of classes before heading home for the holidays.
Skylar Henry, thank you.
The top story 1 year ago tonight was the arrest of Luigi Mangione in the killing of the United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson.
Tonight, we're getting a look at how his arrest went down at a McDonald's in Altoona, Pennsylvania, nearly 300 miles from the crime scene.
Lilia Luciano was following the legal maneuvering in the case this week in New York City.
For the first time, newly released police body camera footage shows the moment when Altoona police officers first encountered Luigi Mangione, seen sitting in the back of this McDonald's exactly 1 year ago.
Yes, sir. There you go. Can you put your mask down real quick for me? Yeah, sure. Appreciate it. Thank you. Okay. What's your name? Mark. What is it? Mark. Mark? Yes, sir. Mark what? Rosario. Rosario? Someone called tonight. They thought you were suspicious. Oh, I'm sorry. Is your ID on you? Yes, sir. Thanks.
Mangione handed them a New Jersey ID he'd allegedly been using. He admitted it was fake. Police asked him more questions and eventually arrested him. And today, inside a New York City courtroom, his defense team fought to toss out evidence recovered at that scene, claiming it was obtained illegally. Last night, prosecutors released new evidence, including handwritten notes that seem to show plans to change his appearance. One reads, "Change hat, shoes, pluck eyebrows." Police also say they found a loaded gun magazine, a 3D printed gun, and a silencer, and more pages from a notebook detailing possible travel routes to evade authorities. Check Pittsburgh, red eyes, ideally to Columbus or Cincinnati. Keep momentum, FBI slower overnight. His attorneys say he wasn't read his Miranda rights right before he was questioned. They're requesting that evidence be borrowed from the jury.
And Mangione appeared animated, engaged during the court hearing today. At times, he seemed to quietly object to some of the witness testimony. He's due back in court, not tomorrow, but Thursday. Luigi Mangione has pleaded not guilty to all charges.
Lilia Luciano, thank you.
Now let's check the weather. More than half a foot of snow blanketed parts of Virginia yesterday, and many were still shoveling out today.
And the Pacific Northwest is getting drenched by what forecasters call an atmospheric river. Lakes and rivers overflowing in Washington state. Officials are advising that you do not try to drive on flooded roads.
And Lonnie Quinn, up on the roof of the CBS broadcast center here in Manhattan, says there is more rain to come. What's the latest, Lonnie?
Yeah, you betcha, John. That atmospheric river is in full force right now. It's just a persistent flow of moisture from the Pacific into the Pacific Northwest. So places like, Eugene, Portland, Seattle, you're going to pick up a foot of rain before this week is done. And it's just not all beneficial. Yeah, flooding that you talked about, but also landslides. You got to be worried about that. Then some of that moisture is going to be mingling with an Alberta clipper that's dropping in from Canada. Now, so often these clipper systems are moisture starved, right? Real cold, but they're moisture starved. Not this time. That little burst of Pacific moisture, and I'm talking 4 to 7 inches of snow possible in and around Minneapolis. Outside of Minneapolis, it could be up to 14 inches of snow. Minneapolis last winter had 29 inches for the entire winter. They currently rest at 11 inches. They'll pick up 4 to 7. They'll have more than the entire half of year. They'll have more than last year's half total, okay? And they'll have that by the morning hours. And then it moves into the northeast. It looks like rain along the I-95 corridor, and it's going to be snow inland. But for New York City, we are still waiting for that first measurable snowfall, and it's not going to be happening in the morning. Another chance comes Sunday. Gentlemen?
No rush on that. Lonnie Quinn, thanks so much.
Turning now to the economy, President Trump in recent months has dismissed concerns about affordability as a Democratic hoax.
But this evening, in the battleground state of Pennsylvania, he is focusing on the crisis and touting the administration's efforts to lower the cost of living.
Chief White House correspondent Nancy Cordes is with the president in Mount Pocono, Pennsylvania.
As he prepared to tout his economy, President Trump was asked to grade it.
A+.
A+.
Yeah, A++++++.
But at Shields Family Market in Scranton, Pennsylvania, the shoppers are tougher graders.
I would think a B-.
We're definitely failing.
Oh, I would give it a D.
Anne Marie Hadley is a retired educator.
The economy is not good. I don't see promises being kept.
And the promise was to bring prices down.
Oh, absolutely.
The president insists he is keeping that promise.
Grocery prices are down. Energy has come down incredibly.
But government data tells a different story. The cost of energy is up 2.8% over 12 months. Overall inflation was falling, but drifted back up when Trump imposed tariffs.
Definitely since the tariffs have started, you can feel it. Even with non-food items, we felt it, Black Friday.
The White House has eased some of its tariffs on products that are largely grown abroad, like coffee and avocados. And just yesterday, Trump announced a $12 billion bailout for farmers hit hard by his trade war with China.
$12 billion is a lot of money.
Tonight, Trump will emphasize gas prices, which have come down an average of 6 cents a gallon since this time last year. He may also stress this year's stock market gains, which led shopper Patrick Naughton to give the economy this solid grade.
I'd probably say about a good B, just because my investments are doing pretty well. My 401ks are doing pretty well. But again, that's just me personally.
The White House says this is just the first in a series of speeches that the president will give on affordability, a top issue for voters, especially in swing states like this one, Pennsylvania, with less than a year to go before the midterm elections.
Nancy Cordes traveling with the president. Thank you, Nancy.
And the president, in an interview with Politico, warned that he may extend his military campaign against drug traffickers to Mexico and Colombia.
Since September, the U.S. military has taken out more than 20 suspected drug boats from Venezuela, killing nearly 90 people.
Tonight, Charlie D'Agata takes a look at the cost of the military campaign in U.S. tax dollars.
This afternoon, 2 F-18 fighter jets like these assigned to the USS Ford aircraft carrier circled near the coast of Venezuela as President Trump warned the country's leader, Nicolas Maduro, that the military campaign against the cartels could go beyond boat strikes.
You want to see him out?
His days are numbered.
Can you rule out an American ground invasion?
I don't want to rule in or out. I don't talk about it.
Questions over the legality of strikes on alleged drug boats and the second strike that killed 2 survivors topped the agenda as Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth briefed congressional leaders this afternoon.
Would he let every member of Congress see the unedited videos of the September 2nd strike? His answer, we have to study it.
While the Trump administration weighs further action, the costs of Operation Southern Spear are racking up. 11 warships deployed to the region have cost over $200 million. And those B-1 bombers that have flown out of the U.S. to buzz the Venezuelan coastline, $173,000 per flight hour. That's a lot of hardware for what so far has been a drug interdiction mission, says retired Marine Colonel and military analyst Mark Kansian.
You're using an asset that's designed for taking on China in the Western Pacific in the teeth of advanced weaponry and using it to take out boats with motors, with outdoor motors.
Speedboats.
It can do it, but it's overkill.
Now, U.S. lawmakers are threatening to limit Secretary Hegseth's travel budget unless he releases that video of the second strike to full Congress. Hegseth says it's still under review because it contains some sensitive information that should remain classified.
All right. Charlie D'Agata in D.C. Thanks.
Now, more of the top stories from around the world in tonight's Evening News Roundup. A federal judge ruled today that the records in the sex trafficking case against Ghislaine Maxwell can be unsealed. This includes evidence not presented in court. Maxwell is the former girlfriend of convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. The Justice Department is required to black out information that could identify Epstein's victims. And a small plane crash landed on Interstate 95 in Brevard County, Florida, Monday, slamming into a Toyota Camry on the highway. The driver was taken to the hospital. The people on the plane were not hurt.
Still ahead on the CBS Evening News, a growing number of U.S. citizens and migrants without criminal records being caught up in President Trump's immigration raids.
Australia launches a social media ban for kids under 16. Could it happen in the United States?
And the kindness of a stranger, why former talk show host Ricki Lake says she has been left speechless.
Dozens of U.S. citizens and migrants with no criminal history are being arrested in President Trump's immigration raids across the country.
Omar Villafranca with more on the families being torn apart.
The last time Jonathan Escalante talked to his mom, she was in her car on Monday in Kenner, Louisiana.
What I'm assuming is that they broke the car windshield right here.
CBS News was the only network to talk to the 18-year-old, who tells us ICE agents arrested his mother, Vilma Cruz. The Honduran-born mother of 2 is the sole caregiver for Jonathan and his 9-year-old sister.
This is the USA. It's supposed to be the land of the free, but it's not so free anymore.
Cruz was one of dozens of people arrested as part of Operation Catahoula Crunch, DHS's latest immigration crackdown targeting what they say are criminal illegal aliens in Louisiana. Unlike their mother, Escalante and his sister are both American citizens, but he's still worried about being detained.
You're an American citizen, but sometimes you feel that you have to carry your passport.
Yep, because I'm afraid of ICE agents just stopping me because they feel like it.
That fear isn't unfounded. More than 170 U.S. citizens have been detained by immigration agents so far this year.
Leave me alone!
Jacelyn Guzman, a U.S. citizen, was chased by ICE agents last week in New Orleans.
I didn't know if I should run or not. I was scared. But then another car pulled up. He had like a mask on with sunglasses. And then I was like, oh, I immediately started telling him like I'm born and raised here, like I'm a U.S. citizen. And he did not care at all.
Agents later said she matched the description of a suspect.
It's very unfair. It's hard to talk about too because like it makes me scared for my family as well. I'm sorry.
Escalante told me his mother's not a criminal and he doesn't know why she was targeted. The civil rights group LULAC is helping the family, and they're also looking at a legal case to try to stop the deportations here in Louisiana. We reached out 2 times to DHS officials for comment and didn't hear back.
Omar Villafranca, thank you.
Australia introduces the world's first social media ban for young teenagers.
How it works and what kids are saying. Next. Tonight, parents around the world are watching Australia, where a landmark social media ban for young teenagers started today.
Millions of accounts were deactivated, with the tech companies on the hook for enforcing the ban. Here's senior business and tech correspondent Jolene Kent.
In the land down under, millions of kids' social media profiles are going dark today as Australia's new social media ban takes effect for anyone under 16.
Our social media ban is about making sure kids have a childhood. It's not going to be perfect, but it's too important.
10 of the biggest social media platforms, including TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and Snapchat, have been ordered by Australia's e-Safety Commission to block children or face a fine of up to $33 million, while gaming and messaging platforms like WhatsApp, Discord, and Roblox are still available. The sweeping law will be a major lifestyle change. 95% of Australian kids 13 to 15 used social media last year.
As young Australians, we will be completely silenced and cut off from our country and the rest of the world with this ban.
Here in the U.S., some lawmakers have been pushing for additional regulation of social media platforms, too. And some states are now rolling out age verification requirements for kids to download them.
This new law in Australia is a game changer.
The critics out there say, look, it should be incumbent upon parents and families to be regulating social media usage for their kids. What's your response to that?
There's no question that there's an important role for parents, but the truth is these are the most powerful, wealthiest companies in the history of the world. The platforms are addictive, and so we obviously need common sense regulation and guardrails.
Australia's e-Safety Commission says that many of the 10 social media platforms will estimate or verify users' ages by evaluating online activity like a video selfie, for example, or in some cases do an ID check. Here in the U.S., some platforms already are offering age estimation and teen accounts, but these methods aren't foolproof, and those child online safety advocates say more is necessary to keep kids safe.
A lot of parents are cheering tonight. Jolene Kent, thank you.
Up next, a stranger finds priceless family photos that former talk show host Ricky Lake thought were gone forever.
This portion of the CBS Evening News is sponsored by Ancestry. Discover, preserve, share.
Finally here tonight, Ricky Lake is celebrating a surprising discovery nearly a year after her California home burned down in the Palisades wildfire.
An artist recently found some of the former talk show host's precious family photos at a flea market. Carter Evans has the story.
You guys, the craziest thing happened.
Ricky Lake could hardly contain her excitement online.
I can't even process. Are you ready?
After starring in the movie Hairspray, Lake had a hugely popular talk show in the 1990s. But this year has been filled with heartbreak.
This is what's left of my Malibu home.
Lake's home burned down in January.
I lost everything.
Including her cherished family photos, or so she thought.
I'm looking at this woman who I think's really soulful, and I thought, I think that's Ricky Lake.
Patty Scanlon was looking for inspiration for her paintings when she bought a box of photos from a flea market this past weekend.
It was like this thing in the universe that just said, you're going to get those photos and you're going to give them to Ricky.
So she launched a search online.
My phone started blowing up. Does anybody have a way to get in touch with Ricky Lake? I found these photos at a frickin' flea market. I couldn't believe what I was seeing because all of it was gone in the fire.
They were photos of her eldest son, Milo, that Ricky had apparently mailed to a relative decades ago.
I really cannot thank you enough. And the fact that I'm going to get something back that I thought was lost forever is really, it makes me so happy.
It's a story Ricky Lake will be talking about for years to come. Carter Evans, CBS News.
You know, I just went through some family photos, and you can relive an entire year in just one photograph. That's amazing.
Great karma right there, by the way.
Indeed. That's the CBS Evening News. I'm John Dickerson.
I'm Maurice Dubois. Have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow.